Alright guys, we are back in my garage today looking at the linear model LDCO 850. I will run this today for you guys, but this is not what we're here for. So it's been a little while since I've done, or actually quite a long time since I've done an opener swap of any sort. And since it's finally getting nice out, I decided that, well, today I'd come out and do some opener stuff. So today, that was showing too much. Oh, by the way, here's that Sears that I replaced. Sears Craftsman. Needed a gear and a power cord, and for some reason this corner of the chassis was bent. I was able to fix that, so I'll make a video on this one for you in a little bit. But the 882LM is off. And here's the 8365. You'll see what I do with that in a little bit. But today I decided to come out and install the awesome LiftMaster model 3500 on the small door. Look at that, that thing looks nice up there. So a lot of people asked me to do this one, and this is also one that I've been wanting to put up for a while, so I figured this one would be first. So before I get into running this thing, before I do that, there are a couple things that have changed as far as showing openers on the small door this year. The first thing is that I'm using a proper one-piece T-rail. This is the rail from the 8550 actually, and it definitely saves me a lot of time being able to use a one-piece T-rail instead of putting together a sectional rail. Speaking of rails, they're all down here. The rail for the 8365 is down there. This is the rail for the Automate. And then wrapped up here is the rail for my Genie Pro. I did manage to get this rail home. So yes, I'm now using a proper one-piece T-rail. The other thing is that I'm no longer using a remote as my wall button. This is the remote I'm using, is my 373P. And obviously if I were using a remote for a wall button, I would not be using this nice 373P. Instead, and I didn't really want to swap out the button over there, so I decided that instead I would come over and put my button right here. This is the Craftsman 98LM, and I didn't really feel like running a whole nother set of wires to the opener, so what I've done is I made a little button switcher thing. So, I mean, if you're coming over to the small door to open the small door, you're going to be coming over here anyway, so it's not a huge deal having the button here. And I just made a little button switcher so that I don't have to take this off the wall. So right now, as you can see, this is on, 880 is off. If I zoom out so you can maybe see, if I flip this down, this turns off. And while the 880 is trying to start up, it's making a noise. I don't know if you can hear it. It's making a weird noise. Obviously this will not work with the 3500, but now you can see this button is disabled. If I switch this back up, you can see that button turns back on, and now this will work again. So I figured I would do that. It just makes it a little bit easier than having to wire a whole new button. And also, like I said, this year I am going to try to show some non-Chamberlain openers up here. So we'll see when I get around to doing that. But anyway, I think we'll go ahead and run the 3500. This thing is pretty nice. It's pretty quiet. Obviously, it's not the quietest 3500 out there, as you guys heard in the other videos I have of this thing. And by the way, one thing I never mentioned about this operator is that when I had it on the mini door, this thing actually lost its limits after I was testing the force and whatnot on it. It forgot its limits. I'm actually curious as to if it'll do it this time. So let me try it real quick. I'll just trip the up force and see if it remembers the down limit. Hold down, trip the force. Now let's close it and see what happens. Guess not. I don't know, it might have just been a one-time thing. So anyway, let's go ahead and see how this 3500 runs. Oop, wrong button. super quiet and smooth. This thing does run pretty good. The soft stop works pretty good. The opener was made January 2006. You can see all the stuff we've got going on the back there. The wiring, programming buttons, and the port for the battery. I did not bother to bring that power supply thing out because there's no point in having that. I don't have a battery for this either. I might get one at some point. And you might be able to see in there, January 16th, 2006, model 3500. This is the original light lens. The 2500s did use a slightly different light cover that had smaller slits on the bottom, which I probably like that style a little better, but I'm happy to have the light cover for this one either way. So yeah, this thing runs nice. It sounds awesome. Yeah. Let's run this down. Soft stop on this thing works great, actually. So yeah, and then we'll just give the linear a quick run. As far as how this has been doing with the new springs, it's been fine. So let's run it with the side button here. Back down. So there you go. There's just a quick run of the linear and then the 3500 on the small door. This thing looks nice. Alright, well that's going to be about it. Thanks for watching. I'll make you a video on that Sears over there. So, see you guys later.